The coffee shop smelled like burnt espresso and bad decisions as I pushed through the door, Maddie's text burning in my pocket. David's at the back table with 3 of your ex-coworkers. He's showing them something on his phone. My hands shook as I smoothed my sweater. Jake's sweater, actually, stolen from his apartment weeks ago because it smelled like safety. Then I saw them. David holding court like some jilted talk show host, Rachel perched beside him with that same smug smile from the wedding. And on his phone screen, our balcony kiss photo zoomed in to look even more damning. Something inside me snapped. Not the angry, reckless snap from 3 months ago. This was colder, sharper. The kind of clarity that comes when you finally stop caring what terrible people think about you. David. My voice cut through the coffee shop chatter. Every head swiveled. Funny running into you here. The way his face contorted, part guilt, part fury, should have been satisfying. Instead, I just felt tired. Tired of his drama. Tired of letting him live rent-free in my head. But most of all, tired of pretending Jake wasn't the best thing that ever happened to me. David recovered fast, sliding his phone across the table toward me. Explain this then. I didn't even glance at it. Why? You're the expert on inappropriate relationships. Rachel had the decency to blush. David just scoffed. So what, you and Jake were a thing the whole time? All those nights you swore nothing was going on? No. The truth tumbled out before I could stop it. We weren't. Not until I realized loving someone shouldn't feel like walking on eggshells. The coffee shop went dead silent. Even the barista stopped steaming milk. David opened his mouth, probably to deliver some cutting remark, when the bell above the door chimed. And there he was. Jake. Sunburned from his weekend upstate, wearing that stupid flannel I loved, looking like he'd sprinted here. Our eyes locked across the room, and something unspoken passed between us. That same wordless communication we'd had since college. David followed my gaze and snorted. Oh, perfect. The fake boyfriend arrives. Jake didn't even glance at him, just walked straight to me, cupped my face in his calloused hands, and kissed me like we were the only 2 people in the world. Not for show, not for revenge, just because he wanted to. When we finally broke apart, the entire coffee shop burst into applause. Even Rachel looked reluctantly impressed. David's face turned an alarming shade of purple. You set this whole thing up to humiliate me. Actually, Jake said, finally turning to him, we set it up because you're a cheating asshole who deserved to feel a fraction of what Mandy felt. He laced his fingers through mine. But somewhere along the way, I fell in love with my best friend. Sorry, not sorry. What happened next plays like a montage in my head. David storming out after failing to get the last word. Rachel lingering just long enough to ask Jake for his brother's number again. Maddie appearing out of nowhere with 2 celebratory lattes. The elderly couple in the corner giving us a thumbs up. But the clearest memory? Driving to Jake's childhood home that weekend and sitting on that dock where his sister had photographed him. Watching the sunset paint the lake gold as we finally had the conversation we should have had years ago. I meant what I said, he murmured, tracing circles on my palm. I want to do this right. No revenge plots. No pretending. What does right look like? I asked. Jake smiled that slow, sure smile I'd loved since we were 19. Dinner tomorrow, flowers. Meeting my parents as my girlfriend, the whole terrifying, amazing package. The craziest part? It worked. Not perfectly. We still bickered over whose turn it was to do dishes. He still left beard trimmings in my sink. I still hogged the blankets. But now when I reached for him in the dark, it wasn't part of some act. And when he whispered, "I love you," against my hairline at 3 a.m., it wasn't for an audience. As for David, he moved to another state last I heard. Rachel dumped him 2 months later. Karma's funny that way. But the real punchline? That pro-con list he made comparing me to Rachel? Jake framed it and hung it in our bathroom as a reminder. Under David's handwriting, he'd added his own note. Mandy wins. Always did. So here's what I learned. Revenge doesn't heal heartbreak. But love, real, messy, inconvenient love, that just might. So here's the thing about revenge. It doesn't heal you. But love, real, messy, inconvenient love, that just might. Jake and I still laugh about how this all started, how I set out to break David's heart and ended up fixing my own instead. These days, when people ask how we got together, Jake just smirks and says, "Turns out her revenge plot was the best thing that ever happened to me." As for David, last I heard, he moved to another state. Rachel dumped him 3 months later. Karma's funny that way. But the real punchline? That pro-con list he made comparing me to her? Jake framed it and hung it in our bathroom. Right under David's handwriting, he scribbled, "Mandy wins, always did." So tell me, have you ever had a revenge plan backfire spectacularly? Or maybe you've been secretly in love with your best friend? Drop it in the comments and let's swap stories. And if you want to see Jake's embarrassing reaction to this video going viral, smash that subscribe button, I just might film it. Until then, remember, the best revenge isn't making them jealous. It's living so damn happy they become irrelevant.